Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Titus Sherlock from the USF Juniors Series. How's it going, my man?
It's going great. Thank you for having me again.
Hey, I know since the last time we had you on, of course, I know Road America did not work as well as you wanted it to, but can you really take anything away from that?
Yeah, it wasn't all bad. I mean, we actually had, I think, some decent pace. Unfortunately, we had a lot of car issues. So in qualifying, we had electrical cutouts, so I qualified pretty much last. And in race one, we went from dead last to P6. So race one was pretty good. A lot of positives from that. Race two, unfortunately, the car issues kind of returned, and then we randomly got a flat tire out of nowhere. We don't really know what caused it, but and then race three, we were involved in an incident pretty early on. But besides some of the bad luck, I think we learned a lot and had some decent pace at some points in the weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Just overall, I know that this is in a brand new series. I know you're not new to racing, but overall, how has this season been going for you in these cars, and just in its first year?
Yeah, I think they've done a pretty good job with the series, considering it's its first year. It's been pretty smooth. It's my first year in cars with wings and slick tires, so that's a new thing to learn. And I'd say it's overall just been a good learning year. Results haven't always been great, but we've had our good weekends and bad weekends, and I think we're looking pretty good for next year to hopefully contend for a championship. So it's been up and down, but I would say overall the series has been great, and we've done a decent job.
Yeah. So I know there's a lot of changes that are happening with the series next year. I mean, so the Halos, of course, the Halos coming in, so it'll be more like basically USF 2000 car, or really in the rest of the road to Indy. What's that going to be like just with driving that thing? Because it's basically the same thing as a USF 2000 car, really.
Yeah, it is the USF 2000 car, except it has a couple of the components are different just to save on cost. So the brakes are a little different, the wheels are different, and it has a restrictor, so there's a little bit less horsepower. But besides that, everything else is the same, and it's the same thing as the Indy Pro 2000 as well. That also just has more upgraded components. So
For sure. What's the added benefit to having? I know with the technical side of things, but the Halo, what's that going to be like driving with that thing?
I've heard it's not you once you are in the car, you don't even notice it essentially. It obviously adds weight and a little bit weight that's really high as well in the car. It's not super low, so it affects the handling a little bit, but you get used to it pretty fast.
For sure. Um, COTA is coming up in just really a few weeks. You're from you live in Texas for the last few years. And what's that like? Just it's a home race for you, so you don't really have to travel. Because I know that I know travel has been a nightmare for a lot of people, including yourself. What's that like not to having to travel?
Yeah, this is the first race I've been to where I don't have to fly in probably 3 years or so. So it's pretty awesome. We just have to drive. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So how far is COTA from you?
I think it's like a 4.5 hour drive.
That's not bad, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that it's traveling to all these races. What has that been like, just going around the country and seeing things?
It's pretty cool, getting to see everything. I actually have a list of all the states that I've been to, and it's quite a lot now. It's cool to see all the different places. Places that I didn't think I would enjoy, I really thought were really cool. Like Wisconsin really surprised me. I didn't expect too much of that, but it was actually a really cool place. And yeah, it's really cool just to travel around and see all new places.
Did you eat cheese curds while you were in Wisconsin?
No, I didn't get the chance.
Okay, next time you go there, you will have to have some.
All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Okay. With MidOhio, how was that? Did you? It was. I was there for the first time as well. But what was that experience like to go to that area of the country and just that racetrack?
Well, the actual track itself was really fun. I really enjoyed it. The town as well, it was pretty cool. I mean, every place I've been to, I've enjoyed. A lot of them can be kind of similar, especially kind of in that central area of the country. Everything kind of looks the same, but it was really cool. And Mid-Ohio, the actual track itself was awesome.
Yeah, it is. So I was there for the first time. I just realized something. Next time I go there, I'll have to go visit the Shawshank Redemption thing that's there.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
I'll have to go see that. Um, just how are you with getting ready for COTA this weekend? Lots of twists and turns, and what is that track been like? Obviously, it's on iRacing, so what's that place like to drive?
Yeah, I've never driven there, but like you said, it's on the sim, and I've done quite a few laps on it now. It's pretty different from everything we've done this year. There's a lot of high-speed corners, a lot of flowing corners. It's also a Formula One track, like a modern one, so there's a lot of runoff everywhere. Also, a lot of sausage curves that you have to avoid that are pretty dangerous. But I think it's going to be a fun track, and I look forward to racing there.
Yeah, Formula One, of course, races there. They'll be there in a few months. NASCAR is also raced there as well.
Yep.
IndyCar has raced there in the past, so it's very popular, and as well as IMSA. It's a popular track that a lot of series have visited over the years, so it should be fun there. As the season winds down to a close, what do you think that what do you think you might take away from this season?
I think we've just learned a lot. We've had a lot of ups and downs, like I said, but we just want to end it off on a good note. The last two rounds haven't been the easiest, but I think we have what it takes to do well at COTA, and hopefully we can just end on a high and just take everything we've learned on to next year.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. I don't know if I asked you this yet, but just for people that I don't know if we did this or not the last time we had you, but let's. Do you mind if we get to know you a little bit, Titus?
Yeah, sure.
What's your overall favorite track that you've been to?
Probably this year I really enjoyed Barber. We had a strong weekend results wise and pace wise, and I really enjoyed it. It was super flowing. I just really enjoyed it. I mean, every track we've been to this year has been great. Maybe except Ozarks, I didn't like that one too much, but every track has been awesome. So I would say probably Barber is my favorite right now.
It seems like Ozarks is a just I don't know. I just had like this vibe of when I talked to a bunch of guys. It's like, oh, it's an interesting play. I think it's a brand new racetrack, if I'm not mistaken.
It's pretty new. There's only been a couple races there. It's my takeaway from it is it's not a very good racetrack. It might be a fun track to maybe go to a test day or like a practice day in a Miata or something. But for racing, and especially racing single seaters, I don't think it was a great track at all. I've never done a session and been like scared before, but my first session there, I was kind of scared. Essentially it's like a mini Nürburgring with no runoff. There's just Armco metal walls, and it's super high speed, and every corner is pretty much blind, and it's pretty intense place to have a first race for sure, especially in a junior series.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you have any racing superstitions?
Not really. No, I get in the car different sides every time, so I don't have that. Not really. Nothing superstitious.
Yeah, sounds good. And also name 3 things people might not know about you.
I think we did this last time, and I got hung up on it, and I didn't know what to say.
Okay. We'll avoid that one then. Let's see. Dang, I don't want to leave you hanging on that one. I feel like I need to ask you something else. What's a track that you actually want, that you're most looking forward to, like a track that you've always wanted to race on?
Actually, COTA. I've been going there to the F1 race for a couple of years. Never got the chance to actually drive on the track, and I really enjoyed on the sim. So I'm looking forward to racing there in real life for sure.
All right. Well, Titus, thanks so much for coming on here, and we'll definitely be talking after the season. Okay.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for having me.